What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back into what's happening over there in Iraq and keep an eye on our little investment. What do you think? Hey, I want you to take a look at something. Look at this map I saw a picture of. Makes you really think. Look at Kuwait takes $3.67 to equal 1 Kuwait dinar. Dubai takes $1 to equal 3.67 AE dinars. It's the same. Up here, though, this is wrong. This is now 6, not 8, to equal 1 dinar. See something wrong here? One of these does not belong like the others. Only some of you who are as old as I am know where that song comes from. Notice how Kuwait and Dubai are exactly flip-flop in value. No, the way they worded it is only to say, hey, look at to equal 1 Kuwait dinar, okay? Okay, so I see what they're talking about here. So Kuwait, for every 1 Kuwait dollar you get, you can exchange it for $3.67 of American dollars. Over here, the Dubai dinar, for every 3.67 of their dinars, you get $1. But up here, you can see, these people got more oil. They're a richer nation. There's no reason for this to be here at all. So you see, again, people go, oh, it's fake, the currency is no good. No, the currency is not fake. It's a legitimate currency. We all know this. Do people commit fraud with it? Yes, they do. Will it go up in value? Yes. Now, whether it's an RI or an RV, just paying attention to what's going on to the economy, as well as other factors that are brought up a billion times, shows you that eventually the dinar is going to get back up here in value. Will it do it all at once? Who knows? Will it eventually get there? Yes. A lot sooner than people think. If it happens overnight with the RV and the RI, the first thing you better do is take your money and go put it into gold and silver just to be safe. Hey, you should be buying gold and silver right now. That's just my opinion. But when you do, go check out our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you'll get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you asking me for my address, there it is. You guys know I got this alternative website. I highly recommend you go check it out. I think you enjoy what's over there. Let's cover the news, then we're going to get into some other fun-loving stuff about where that map came from, talking about that rate. So academia is in over Europe, I guess it is, in Brussels. And what you're going to see is most all of these articles are pretty much the same. What they're talking about while he's over there, again, is how these nations could come together and work with one another. That's beneficial, including free trade, training, security, the fight against ISIS, the fair elections coming up, making sure they oversee it. They praised Kademi for the job he has done since he's been in office. The big turnaround since he's been in office. Things seem to be going in the right direction, which is exactly what you want. The only issue that I have is he's meeting with clones. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyways, he's meeting with some questionable people. So I know the European Union he's meeting with, as well as the Pope's clone who's running around. I think what a lot of these people are really talking about is who is and who's not going to be part of this great reset. And if you are, this is where you need to be pushing your people to. Could be wrong. It's just me speculating. Nonetheless, all through these articles, it's the same thing. So academia is counting on developing the relationships of the European Parliament with the Iraq Parliament in the field of exchange and legislative experience, promoting culture of human rights, defending minorities, and consolidating democracy. Consolidating democracy? Really? Defending minorities? Because this is all what it says on the Great Reset. The verbiage is exactly the same. Now, again, it all sounds good. They always butter up a pig, slap lipstick on there, and tell you it's a hot chick. They mislabel things. They tell you it's good for you when it's actually the opposite. So, again, I'm just pessimistic when it comes to this, but I do like the fact that Iraq has an opportunity to do business with people so they can start growing. He also confirmed in his meeting that the Iraq government is continuing to implement economic reforms, diversifying investments, and revive stalled projects as it seeks to attract investors and secure an optional investment environment by facilitating all investment-related procedures, which is good. This is what we've been wanting. Get it going, yes. So the Prime Minister stressed that the government has made important progress in combating terrorism and uprooting its roots, which is what they need. So he pointed out that Al-Kadhimi stressed the government's aspirations for European support of mobilizing the international efforts to support the issues of mass graves and missing people left behind by ISIS. Now, a couple days ago, I watched some unedited, uncensored videos of what ISIS was doing to a lot of the citizens. I can't tell you enough how heartbreaking it was to watch what they did. They had these people laying in pits, the gentlemen, the men, boys as well, who refused to join. So they walked by and, not that you want to hear this, but popped them in the head. To see that was yeah. I don't care what religion you are. If your religion tells you to go murder people that, your God in your religion tells you to murder people like that, that's not a God. That's not a religion. That's definitely the devil. They did it to kids. So Al-Kadhimi arrives in Italian capital. He's in Rome. So he's going all over. He's on a European tour. Again, talking to all these people about the same things as before. How they can work with one another to improve. Also, when it comes to securing the country, this is all good news. And talks about what they're doing to prepare for the election. Good news. After Brussels, Al-Kadhimi heads to the Vatican to meet with the clone. Yes, the clone himself. The Pope. So it's a good thing they had this movie already created. Sit back and eat your popcorn. Anyways, Al-Kadhimi is going over there to meet with the Pope. And I'm sure they're going to talk about a lot of the same things. So, the news-wise, it's not very sexy today, to be quite honest with you. But I do want to show you something that I know you'll be interested in. I keep talking about with Iraq's oil that they're really doing good. Also, there's some oil that they have not announced yet. I still have not figured out why. A big pull of it that's going to really put them into the spotlight as far as money is concerned. Another reason why you should hold on to your dinars. Iraq's oil surged 30% to China and 23% to India, surpassing Saudi Arabia as the fastest growing market. That's what we like to hear. Iraq is gaining the edge over Saudi Arabia in the world's fastest growing oil consumers amid intensifying race amongst producers to retain their most prized markets. Iraq was the top crude supplier to India for the third month of May, shipping 1 million barrels a day. According to the shipping data compiled by Bloomberg, Iraq supplies accounts for 23% of India's purchases last month, up for an average of 19% in the previous 4 months, while Saudi Arabia share fell about 1% point down to 17%. The data shows. Yeah, we like to hear this. Oil producers are facing increased competition in major markets like China and India, especially in these territories, and as well as Russia, when you got these idiots over here in the United States trying to push us into this Green New Deal. That's going to be a failure. For those you don't remember, under the Obama administration, they pushed us into that Sunland. Is that what it was? Solar panels for $800 million became a complete flop. What they're also not telling you about these panels is how much it costs to maintain them and how they cost more than they actually save in energy. So, anyways, China and China, India as OPEC and its partners continue efforts to curb output to clear global glut. India's 2 trillion economy imports more than 80% of its crude requirements, and the International Energy Agency expects it to be the fastest growing consumers through 2040. I don't doubt that. Saudi used to be the king when it comes to crude supply, but now it's become the prince. Preference for Iraq crude will continue as Indian refineries continue with refinery upgrades, and they've just about complete anyways. It goes on to here to talk about gold helping and silver helping as well. Keep in mind that JP Morgan is doing everything in their power for the Western deep state to keep the Iraq, the IQD, the dinar, to talk about the Iraqi dinar, contained downward pressure via fractionalized banking, while the upward pressure, supply and demand, grows for Iraq. Soon, Iraq will remove the deep state matrix from their finances as the world leaves the fiat fractionalized derivatives scheme of the Rothschild banking cabal, the Keynesianism, for the finite gold and silver backed banking system of capitalism. Yep. We've already seen Russia made their first move. They no longer have a central bank. They don't deal with the Rothschilds. And then this is why all of a sudden now we're being told, oh, Russia hacked this, Trump and Russia that. Because once you do away with a central bank that's owned by the Rothschilds, all of a sudden you become some enemy, just like Gaddafi did, just like North Korea did, just like Cuba. They didn't have these central banks there. So anyways, I love this. Look at this. India imports 319 tons of silver in 1 month. Wow. India is the world's largest importer of gold, surges 82%. See, that's what you're looking for. China's gold superpower urging the citizens to diversify into physical gold and silver since 2009. You notice that the United States never tells its citizens to diversify into gold and silver? Iraq, which has been the number 2 seller to India for years, was able to overtake the Saudis as India refineries have implemented plant upgrades over the past few years, enabling them to process crude with a higher sulfur content. The Middle East nations has also improved its ports infrastructure to ensure stable supply. Remember I was talking about a while ago that Trump was reaching out to Saudi Arabia and having them and Iraq work together to improve and rebuild their biggest ports? Iraq crude used to be less preferred due to delays and inconsistencies in shipments, as the Gulf nations lacked the required ports infrastructure, according to Rama Acharyandan. Yeah, that's close. Iraq crude is getting attractive, and it suits our refineries very well, the person said. Iraq has come out of the supply uncertainties, and the pricing is very competitive. So you see, as they take the money from the surplus, because they didn't count on oil prices being so high, they started using that money to upgrade their refineries as part of their projects. Yeah, we know they took a loan from the IMF, as we're being told to do the same thing. The state refinery buys about 4 million tons of Iraq grade annually on a term basis, which had matched the volume it received from Saudi Arabia's oil company, the nation's biggest producer, boosted Iraq imports to about 18 million tons back in 2017 under term contracts, from 15.6 last year. Finance Director, Saudi purchases remain steady at 5.6 million tons. Iraq, the OPEC member, which among the most closely watched nations for compliance to the group's curbs, exports 3.93 million barrels a day. They did this in May That's the highest since 2017, according to the vessel tracking and shipping agent data gathered by Bloomberg. So again, here's that map. The Western oil game against Iraq that was designed to benefit Rothschild Israel has failed. Again, look at these oil producing companies. Their currency is way more valuable. Iraq is actually getting ready to take over Saudi Arabia, period, and the OPEC group. Why isn't their currency more valuable? So see, when people go, oh, it's not real, it's not fake, it's never going to happen. This is the kind of crap that they don't research. This is the kind of crap they don't read about. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Look, we know this. We've been talking about this for a long time. The thing is, the longer it takes, the more people get to go, ha ha, as they point fingers at you. I know it's the same with gold and silver. A lot of people want presto for it to happen overnight. And you hope that it does. But the truth of the matter is, we know it's going to happen sooner or later. But when it comes to the Vietnam Dong, as well as Iraqi Dinar, here's what I say. Even if there's no RI or no RV, there's no reason for the currencies to be that low. Eventually, very soon, you're going to see them go to their true value, which is up above the $3 mark. We know this. So don't be discouraged and hang tight. All right? Anyways, that's it, you guys. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.